Hello, hello. I'm still getting used to knowing if I'm live or not. I'm gonna tell a couple of friends that I'm online, and if they send me a text message, then I would know that I'm here with you. Awesome. So the reason that I came online today because the party is still going on, and I didn't know that is even possible. On 20th of July, I launched Level Up, and there was a party. I don't know if you've seen the photos on LinkedIn or have seen the videos that came out of it on Instagram or on LinkedIn. It was just epic. It was bigger than what I ever imagined. It was fantastic. The vibe was great. Um, the conversations were really quality conversations, and it was just a hit. So, being a person that the first time launches a book, um, that was great. What I didn't know is that um, during that week, last week, we became, well, I became, the book became the Amazon bestseller in US and Canada in three different categories. Well, I was happy. Of course, US and Canada, there's a huge population and it's Amazon new releases. So I'm not competing with War and Peace or Anna Karenina, which are, great pieces of literature. They just, Amazon has this method of looking at the new releases and finding out, based on the purchases, based on the interactions with the book, it will rank you in different categories. Um, so, what I didn't know is this: on Saturday, I became the bestseller in three categories in Australia as well, which was fascinating. A friend called and said, "Do you know that you are on? Um, do you know? Have you seen your new ranking?" I was like, "No, it's Saturday. I was truly resting, trying to, as my friend says, absorb all these great feelings and emotions, and I was just, really truly chilling." So when I checked, I saw this picture that I don't know if I can share it here, but it was just beyond the my imaginations. So three categories that I was on top. One of them was human resources and staffing. Second one is office skills, and the third one, which I was over the moon for it, was the management. So I just, yeah, it's called Business Management on both paperbook and Kindle. So that is that. I still have one more goal for future books. As you know, this is one of the three books. I was hoping that I become the bestseller. No, I was hoping that I get some sort of ranking, not bestseller, for management science. Because a lot of work that I do, and I'm hoping to do more of it, is about bringing new management skills. And I'm all about innovation in management. We know traditionally we are really good at the craft that we are in. If we are in technology, if we are in data, if we are in medicine, in any practice that we are. So the craft is quite defined, and it's very common somebody become really experienced in that. But management of a craft itself is another practice that I believe is always been um, dismissed and not seen as something separate to do some innovative work in data space. Um, so of course there's innovation management, there are new ways of working that we always design or promote, and I'm really keen to always learn those ones, teach those ones. But what I didn't know is um, what I didn't know is the fact that no one really specifically talk about these ones as innovation in that level. So that's what I do, and I enjoy doing that, and I'm keen to do more of it. So that's the continues from Saturday and Sunday. I've been walking over the moon, trying to be this person that is chill and zen and just savoring the moment. But it has been more than that. During the launch period, about 2 weeks runway to it, and last week, a lot of people reached out to me and said, "Oh, by the way, we want to write something as well. And how did you do?" We started to put some thoughts on paper. So I thought I'd come in and use this time to share how I did it, because I wrote 2 of the 3 books in 2 months. Of course, I'm crazy. Don't do it like me. But I was using a specific method that I learned from high performing athletes. But for today, I want to break if you are thinking about writing a book or any sort of white paper, perhaps, I would suggest that you think of it as 3 stages: writing the book, publishing it, and marketing it and promoting it. And today I will talk about writing the book. The first thing that I want you to think about is, when it comes to writing the book, before you put pen and paper, have some time with yourself to think about, what feeling do I want to transfer to my audience when they read this book? What feeling I want to transfer to my audience, to my readers, when they read this book? Not what content, not what I want to teach them, what feeling. And that's very important, because that's the part that content and those feelings will sit with people. And anytime that they want to implement or remember, because sometimes your book is not about implementation. My book, Level Up, is all about what you can do in order to be seen as the master of your craft in your space. But your book might not be of that nature. However, if you want people to remember the content of it, or in my case, take action, you need to be able to inspire some sort of feeling in your audience. So have a think about that. And on top of your file, or if you're writing on paper manually, keep those phrases, feelings, to become the guide for you while you are writing those ones. The second thing that I want you to think about is the type of book that you want to write. So there are various types. There are the ones that are a story, the ones that they are kind of will move a reader from A to B. They call them transformational. They are the ones that they're just a story or memory or memoir or autobiography, which comes to what is it, the content of what you want to transfer to your reader. What is it that you would like to gift to them? You might say, "Oh, I'm not writing this one for anyone, I'm just writing it for myself." Great. Even if you are doing it for yourself, with this method, decision that you make as what type of book you're writing, it helps you to stay loyal to it and move forward with it. It's something that might get lost in the process of writing, which is the first part of the process. Then the third thing that I would want to invite you to think about is the structure. And that's 2 types of structures that I'm talking. One is how structured you are in the time that you allocate to the writing. And one thing that I would suggest is that you set certain time in the week and in a day, and even a location, like, for example, a specific coffee shop, a specific corner in your house, specific place that is dedicated to writing, and you just do writing in there for the period that you have committed to write the book. Which brings me to the next point, is that have a deadline. Have a deadline. Having a deadline, as you know, will help you to just work from the time that you've got backwards, and don't go beyond that time, because there is no end into how much you can write on something, particularly if you have a desire to write and it's something that is coming from within. So there's a good chance that you would go beyond a certain period of time. So what you can do is, this is a deadline, communicate deadline to your friend. You can communicate it to me, so I'll hold you accountable to it. And that will help you to know where is the stop sign, where is the stop. When it comes to structuring content and the elements of your book, what I would suggest to do, and by the way I did it for myself was the way I was working every day for 2 months, nonstop, 6 to 8, without negotiation. I wake up, going to the bathroom, robe, desk. I was here on this desk for 2 months, 6 to 8 a.m. And then after 8 a.m., normally after 2 hours, you won't be able to write or think about anything new. And for some people, it might be a little bit longer. But for me, 1.5 hours was absolutely maximum that I could come up with anything to write. And then after the 2 months of my deadline, I just did not add anything to the book. The second part about the structure of the content, what's very important is that first work out the structure of what you want to write. If you are going through the timeline of your life, if you are working from taking a reader from point A to B, have all those stages in the outline of your work predefined, and do a pass and go through all of that once, write whatever you can, first stage, and then you can go into details of it and expand on each part. For the parts that sometimes you keep writing and you don't know where it can go, that's great. So what you can do is to grab that part and just give it a 3-letter title. So later on, you can work with these pieces, and if you feel something, a block needs to move to somewhere else, you can make those decisions. But here's the thing. You can only allow yourself to do certain number of these random blocks that they don't belong to your overall structure. About 3/4 of your time, let's say you've given yourself 2 months or 3 months, the moment that you are about 2/3 of that timeline, I would invite you to not write anything that is not in your predefined structure. Put it aside. I had a file next to my main file that was the stuff that it was just coming to me randomly, and I was quite disciplined, not trying to squeeze it in or find a new home for it, because it would have only delayed the process. And I needed to be able to write it and polish it, and then, put the whole thing together. What I didn't, one of the challenges that I have is that, English is not my first language, so I definitely needed to have an editor, which he was an amazing person. He was just, really good at guiding me as how to write and how to. He was really good at guiding me how to keep my voice and write the way I speak, because that was super important to me, that I don't sound very robotic or I don't sound very businessy. I wanted to sound like me. I wanted, when you read the book, you feel like I am there with you. So, and I think I achieved that, because a couple of friends that they know me, they said to me, Shireen, it sounds like you. Or somebody sent a picture of it and said, Shireen, this part is totally like you, which I loved, because that was something that I wanted to do. I didn't want it to be this boring, dry business book. The only thing that I had to cut out was a little bit of, swearing words, because sometimes I say some words that I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to put that one in a book. But that was pretty much all that we removed from the book. Maybe in the future I'll become braver and just put those ones back. But for now, I thought I keep it um, polite. Let's put it that way. So let me summarize the things that I said about the 3 stages of book, from the time that you open a file to the time that you put it in the hands of a reader: writing, publishing, and marketing. And when it comes to writing the book, I invite you to think about the feeling that you want to bring up to your readers. For me, that feeling is that I'm going to do it, inspired, pumped. I wanted them to feel like, yep, I'm going to go for it. That those are the things that they want to take an action. They want to see the result immediately. They want to go for it. That was the feeling that I wanted to inspire in my readers. But for you, might be something different. So number one, what feeling you want to inspire in people. Second one is the type of book that you would want. If it's a story, if it's a transformational type of book, if it's a biography or memoir, all of that is good. And the third thing is structure. So you need 2 types of a structure: how you write and when you write, and what is your deadline. This is your time management. And the other one is the content and how you stay loyal to overall structure that you've defined originally, so you can finish what you want to do in a meaningful period of time. What's really important is you do run out of energy, and the part that I said, put the feelings on top, that's what will give you energy to go back to it. And for me personally, I couldn't go more than like 2-3 months. That would have been like, I don't think I couldn't focus on writing something for more than that period. But people are different. You might have kids, or you might have been working on something that, like a high exposure program or project or piece of work that you're running at work, or there are some family dynamics or something going on that you can't commit to something such short and tight, like what I did. But definitely having that discipline is really, really helpful to get it out. And the moment it becomes like the last pass that you write and becomes a manuscript, that is a beautiful moment that you can definitely do a mini celebration. Though I was so crazy writing it that I didn't realize that I am just moving from a file to a manuscript. So that's something that I would invite you to have in mind and put it in your calendar. That manuscript submission, for example, editorial. That's a very serious word. Manuscript is ready. It's good, and it's very exciting. So that's what I wanted to share with you. The 3 key points that will help you to go from an unstructured file to a manuscript, so you can submit it for editing. I would later on talk about the publishing process. It was quite a complex process. And you might think, oh, I'm not going to write a book, or I'm not going to publish the book. That's fine. But a lot of my clients are, and my colleagues are executives and C-levels, and you are always going to be writing either white papers, board papers, strategy packs, or this whole method of writing and creating something from scratch to the point that it's presentable is a skill that is definitely helpful. And the more senior you become, the more you need to be able to transfer your knowledge to people that are around you. So it could be in shape of a book or any other form. Still, is something that I believe it's helpful that you have in your pocket. Well, That's it. Oh my God, I've been talking for 20 minutes. I thought it's going to be only 10. Thank you for hanging out and yeah, stay tuned. I will have more great news and content for you. Have a lovely evening. Bye.